There! Funny how it's not stays with you.
It's Dad that stays with me. You know, even with a dozen children, I don't think Dad was satisfied. I remember him looking us over once, and then saying to Mother, "Only 12, Lily, but never mind, you did the best you could."
Do you remember when Mother had come home from a trip and asked Dad if everything had run smoothly? Dad said, "Only had trouble with that one over there, but a good spanking brought him into line." Mother had to say, "That's not one of ours, dear. He belongs next door."
I remember the music coming from down the street. We used to sing that song.
3-part harmony.
The whole family rolling along the Pierce Arrow singing Love's old sweet song. Dad would lean back against the seat and cock his hat up beside his head. Mother would lean up against him as if she were cold. I remember her turning around once between songs and saying, "Right now is the happiest time in the world."
Maybe it was.
Maybe that's the time in the family, when you're all together, before anything's happened to any one of you.
Right now is the happiest time in the world. Remember when she said it again?
Dad with his bad heart. He was getting ready to leave for the World Management Conference in Europe. He was about to go, and he whistled assembly call. We all came running, and we were all together. It was the last time. He was trying to hug us all, and then Mother said it.
The way I remember Dad best, he'd come bounding up the front steps with his arms full, busting to try out some new idea. He'd come roaring into the living room, take out his stopwatch, and then come running. Did you hear Dad whistle?
What is it, Dad? What is it, Dad?
What is it?
14 seconds.
That's pretty good.
Only 8 seconds off the record.
Where's your mother?
She's upstairs with the babies.
I had so many children because I thought anything your mother and I teamed up on was certain to be a success. Now I'm not so sure. Let me see your fingernails.
What, Daddy?
Fingernails. Jackie,
Yes, Daddy?
let me see your fingernails.
Do I have to?
Yes, dear, you have to.
All right.
Just look at those nails. Well, what do you think of them?
I don't know.
What you need is a manicure set to keep your nails clean. Here you go. All you girls need manicure sets. Now, jackknives for all you boys. So get them.
Look, I got a real stag hand. Wow, this is amazing. We can play marbles. Yeah.
There you are. Now, I'll inspect your nails again. Now, where can I put these?
What's in those boxes? Is there something for us in those boxes?
These boxes?
Good, Dad, tell us.
Oh, it's something very special. I'll tell you about it tomorrow, or maybe the day after. Oh, next week sometime.
You're going to tell us anyway. You know you are.
Okay, well, since you insist. These are 2 Victrolas and some records.
But we already have a Victrola.
Downstairs,
Well,
these Victrolas are for the upstairs bathrooms. One for the boys' bathroom and one for the girls' bathroom.
the bathrooms.
I bet we'll be the only family in town with a Victrola in every bath.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I've been thinking about the time you waste in the bathtub. At first I thought it was an unavoidable delay.
Oh, here we go again.
Then I thought of these Victrolas. You have to play them every morning while washing faces, brushing teeth, combing hair.
Why?
Well, does there have to be a why for everything?
There doesn't have to be, but with you, there always is.
When you start talking about Victrolas, dance music isn't the first thing that comes to our minds.
Well, I admit it's not dance music.
We might start thinking about dances.
What kind of records?
Very entertaining and educational. Language lessons, French and German. Now you don't have to listen to them consciously. Just play them and then finally go make an impression.
Not every morning in the bathroom.
I spent $160 for this equipment.
Well, look, it's not even unwrapped. Why don't you take it back and get your money back? Yeah.
I don't want my money back. And if these Victrolas aren't playing from the moment you get up till the moment you come down for breakfast, I don't know the reason why.
One reason. It's impossible to change the records while you're in the bathtub.
Yeah, that's right.
Nonsense. A person can be in and out of the tub in the time it takes a record to play. Well, that's why you're taught motion study.
But you didn't teach anything about taking a bath.
Ah! I will now demonstrate the proper way of taking a bath, without dabbing here and there and then taking an hour. Come on, I'll show you.
You mean right now?
I mean right this minute.
Okay.
Okay, I'm in the bathtub.
Yes, Daddy?
A little more hot water, please. Ah, that's fine. Now I have a cake of soap in my right hand. Notice the one simple continuous motion from the top of the arm, down the top of the arm, above the bottom side and then down the left side. Got it? Shift soap, same motion on the side. La-dee-dee.
Don't forget the back of your neck.
Oh, hello, boss. I'm not forgetting the thing.
Glad you're home early. What's all the racket?
Fingernail inspection.
How about yours? Been biting them again?
Well, let me see yours. I told you not to wash the dishes yourself.
There's already too much for the cook to do.
That's just a matter of saving motions. Dishes or bathing, it's all the same thing. Now, continuing, give a little attention to the back of your neck and your bottom of your feet, and you'll be out of the tub before you can say bonjour. Now, you all know about taking a bath. A few of you take these Victrolas upstairs. Now, boss, I'll go talk to that cook.
We'll both talk to her.
Well, which one goes in which bathroom?
We'll give the girls the French.
I much prefer French.
Now look, it's y'all's friends from recruitment. I think it's Spanish.
Dad has a system for everything.
Even conjugating French and German verbs in the bathtub.
If you'd only think of a system for interesting a couple of boys I know at school.
In what?
In me. A person has to think of some things for herself. I did.
What do you mean?
I'm going to have it out with him.
Have what out?
Somebody has to, and I'm the oldest. What are you going to do? I'm going to stop dressing like a freak. Aren't you tired of all the boys thinking you're a freak?
Dad
I
says.
don't care what he says. Cotton stockings. No wonder no boy ever wants to be seen with us. The way it looks, I'll be the only girl to go through Montclair High without ever once being asked to a dance. Whenever the phone rings, it's just some girl.
A boy called yesterday. He wanted my notes on the Second Punic War.
You'd think it would impress fellows. I mean, knowing things like the touch system and the Morse code.
But it doesn't matter at all.
I had to do something. I bought some things, some up-to-date things like the other girls wear, and they look absolutely snaky. Careful, he might come in any minute. What? I'm not a sneak.
What'd you get?
Short underthings and silk stockings.
Silk stockings?
But when Dad sees them right here, and I'm going to wear them, I'm going to be asked to lots of dances, and lots of boys will want to dance with me, and I'll be a really popular girl.
And if you start having dates, we'll start having them too.
Yeah, golly, we can talk over our different boyfriends and compare notes, and golly, silk stockings.
But Mrs. Fitzgerald!
Kind of quick.
More efficiency, that's all.
But if you just apply motion study,
Motion study's fine as long as it's someone else's motion you're studying.
You'd better get along with there, Mrs. Fitzgerald. My husband told you he'd take care of it.
Yes, Lincoln freed the slaves. Harbor one.
we'll handle this the same way we would in a factory.
It isn't exactly the same.
Exactly, and what works in a factory.
Yes, dear.
What is it, Dad? Something else?
Now what? What is it?
12 seconds. Now, I have a wonderful surprise for you. We're going to try a wonderful new idea.
What kind of idea?
We're going to set up a family democracy. Your mother's not going to run this household anymore, and I'm not going to run it either.
Then who?
You are. All of us. Through a democratic family council, we'll have a family democracy. Everybody votes, and you'll decide the problems that come up.
Gosh, Dad, we will.
You bet we will. Now, you all know how I get companies to set up joint employee boards to make assignments on the basis of personal aptitudes.
Yes, but what kind of assignments, Dad?
Every sort of assignment, this and that, even work assignments.
What? There was gonna be
Now you're going to love this, and it's a great step forward. You'll see. The Gilbert Family Council is going into session right now. Arrange yourselves. Frank, bring your mother a chair.
I got the goods!
I now call this meeting to order. That means quiet. Now, you'll notice I'm installed here as your chairman. I assume there are no objections. The chair hearing no objections.
Mr. Chairman,
Out of order.
since this is going to be a democratic council, I think the chairman should represent the common people.
Yeah.
You're very much out of order here. The chair has the floor.
But you said you heard no objections. I wanted to object.
Out of order means you're out of order. Now sit down. Now, the first job of the council is to apportion the necessary work about the household. Do I hear any suggestions? Come, fellow members. How do you want to divide the work?
I don't think anyone wants to divide the work or otherwise be associated with it in any way, shape, or form.
In a democracy, everybody speaks. So start speaking. Danny, I recognize you. I'm warning you, speak.
I think Mrs. Fitzgerald and Tom should the work. They get paid for it.
Out of order, sit down.
Good answer, Danny.
Bill, I recognize you. Tell me, Mr. Smarty Pants, what do you think of it?
Well, I think Tom and Mrs. Fitzgerald have enough stuff to do. So I think we should hire more people to do it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You're out of order too. Boss, now what?
Of course, we could hire more help, but that means saving somewhere else. If we put all allowances, moving pictures, new clothes, and so forth.
Ah, now do I hear a motion for that effect? Who wants to stop moving pictures, allowances?
Seriously, we'll all have to help.
I move that the boys cut the grass and rake the leaves.
And I move the girls sweep, dust, and do supper dishes.
Everyone makes his own bed,
Except the chairman.
except the chairman.
I second that motion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Well then, motion carried. Now, if there's no further...
Mr. Chairman, I understand the purchase of a new rug is intended.
Yes, it is.
But can the budget afford such a rug?
Gee, I don't know. Sounds as if they do have a good question there, boss.
I plan to spend $100.
Well, I move no more than $95 be spent.
I second that motion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
I'm afraid you lose that one, boss. Now, if there's no further business...
Mr. Chairman, I move we spend the $5 we just saved to buy a new cuddly puppy.
Hey, wait a minute.
Second motion.
Out of order. You're very much out of order
A
here.
dog would be a pet. Everyone could pet him, and I would be his master.
A dog would sleep at the foot of my bed, and I would wash him when he gets dirty.
A dog would be an accursed nuisance. He would be our master. Nobody would wash his filthy, flea-bitten carcass, and he'd positively end up sleeping at the foot of my bed.
Let's go.
Any pet that doesn't lay eggs is an extravagance. Meeting adjourned. Council's adjourned. That's all. No!
I'm afraid you lose that one, Bob.
I think this council's a very good idea.
There are lots of things we should take on.
I suppose next you'll want ponies, roasters, trips to Hawaii, and silk stockings.
Mr. Chairman,
What is it?
there's still further business I wish to place before the council.
And it's important.
I'll show you. I'm not trying to hide a thing. I want the entire family to see.
Well, shall I go bring down the babies?
Be serious.
What is it?
Well, to begin with, these underthings. I'm going to wear them.
You will not. You put that right back in the box. It embarrasses me even to look at that.
I bought them with my own money.
You'll take that right back to the store.
There's only one other girl in school besides us who doesn't wear teddies.
If you don't believe us, come to school and see for yourself.
That won't be necessary.
I'm glad there's one other sensible girl at school besides you.
But she doesn't even wear a teddy.
And if you don't believe
That still won't be necessary.
They're getting boy crazy, Dad.
Yeah, that's all they talk of
You
here.
should see him eyeing the boys in the hall at school or in the
That's
lunchroom.
right, that's the lunchroom.
Hey, shame on you! Well, you might as well know it isn't just teddies. I also bought silk stockings.
Oh.
And mittens.
Look at this. You can see right through it. You might as well go barelegged as wear these. It's like the last of the 7 veils.
Now you know.
And do you know what boys think when they see girls wearing silk stockings?
what?
Never mind.
That's the way everybody dresses today.
Boys don't notice when everyone dresses that way.
Don't you tell me about boys. I know all about what boys notice.
You don't want us to be wallflowers.
Well, I'd rather raise wallflowers than clinging vines.
I'm going to wear these. I'll not be a wallflower anymore.
And I'm going to buy silk stockings too.
And me.
I won't let you out of the house with them.
Don't you see, Dad? I've never been asked to the drugstore for a plain, ordinary vanilla soda.
Well, if it's vanilla sodas that you want.
Oh, Dad.
As for boys, they don't get serious about the kind of girl who wears silk stockings. They just run around with them.
If you ask me, it's a dead giveaway to be so suspicious. If you know to misspent you.
Well, nobody asked you. Now, listen to me, Ann. When a man picks a wife, he wants someone he can respect.
Oh, the boys certainly respect me. They respect me so much they hardly even look at me.
You come back down here. I don't want you wasting your time with a lot of boys. Just look at the fun we have right here at home with our projects.
Yeah. You don't understand. You don't understand at all. I wish your job was selling shoes. And you only had 1 or 2 children, and neither of them was me.
Well, we better go start raking the leaves in the yard.
Why don't you girls go give a hand in the kitchen?
Okay, good girl.
I'll straighten up the living room.
Boss, just what is it that I don't understand?
High school girl.
Do you remember when we decided to have a dozen children? Now, do you remember what I suggested?
You suggested we have all boys.
Now, I'm not blaming you, boss, but you should have followed my suggestion. High school girls, shocking. But you know there's only one way to handle this.
Just like a factory.
Hey, Aaron,
What, Frank?
why does Dad want you wearing silk stockings and having dates?
I don't know why.
But he must have a reason. He wouldn't do it unless he had a reason.
No, he wouldn't.
Well, what could the reason be? Do you remember the time? It was after Danny had bought the $5 dog, and about 2 weeks after Ann first showed Dad the silk stockings.
I remember the battle over those stockings.
Dad and Dr. Burton had a long session upstairs. Then they came down together, and Dad was joking.
And we didn't even think anything about it. We didn't even have a suspicion.
That's the time.
But they were so cheerful. Gosh, Frank, when a man with a dozen children gets told his heart's on the blink, well, what's he going to do?
That's what I'm getting at. I mean, maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason he didn't want your girls singing about boys, movies, and sodas all the time.
It wouldn't contribute to skipping grades at school.
Can't you see? The further we were along in school, the more we knew about everything, the easier it would be later on.
Of course.
We'd be able to take care of ourselves better, and there'd be less of a load on Mother.
You can't blame him for not wanting us to waste time on dates and things like that. But we didn't know.
And he didn't know either. I mean, like Mother said, about high school girls.
I guess boys and things. Dad must have figured it was a shocking waste of time.
The way I remember, the first boy to call, he came on the same night Dad and Dr. Burton had that long session upstairs.
I think Dad and Dr. Burton went upstairs after dinner that night.
You and I were playing checkers when they came down.
And I was wishing the phone would ring. And it would be some fullback who was dying to meet me. I didn't pay much attention to the checkers, or even to Dad.
Somehow we should have realized at the time. I mean, what the doctor was saying to Dad. Somehow we should have understood.
But at the time, it seemed so casual. It just passed like any other conversation, like any ordinary conversation might pass.
You were sitting there, and I was sitting here.
And we hardly noticed. I guess I was daydreaming.
Hey, Aaron,
What?
your move.
Oh,
Sure about that?
of course I'm sure. I suppose you feel proud of yourself?
Another game?
Quacks. You're all quacks.
I hear it so much, there must be something to it.
But people sound rugged pioneer stuff. No time for nonsense like being sick.
What about the Gilbert measles epidemic last spring?
Well, probably even the pioneers got the measles.
I suppose.
You old fake. Now you're trying to say I shouldn't take out any 3-year magazine subscriptions.
Absolute waste of money.
Well, how about a 1-year subscription?
If I were you, I'd still save my money. I'd ask about short-term subscriptions. Maybe 6 months.
That's a mighty short-term subscription.
A man with no responsibilities doesn't want to waste his money.
Shocking. I don't believe a word you say. I feel too good. Besides, I'm too busy.
Fine, I won't worry about it then. See you next week.
You bet you will.
Dad, what magazine are you subscribing for?
Oh, never mind. What's this?
We already did our homework.
Well, that's fine, but you don't have to stop there. If you always do more, pretty soon you skip a grade.
But I just skipped a grade last year.
Well, then start thinking about next year. I don't want you held back by a school system geared for the children of average parents. That's one of the topics for tonight's discussion. Silk stockings?
I've been wearing them at school, and you might as well know it.
Next thing I know, you'll be wanting to paint yourself.
Everybody uses makeup nowadays.
They don't call it painting anymore.
Well, I really don't care what they call it. I'll not have any painted women in this house.
What you want is a house full of old maids.
What I want is for you to get ahead with things that matter. By yourselves without having me there to hound you all the time.
And the topic for tonight's family council is skipping grades at school.
Yes, by jingo, and a little better organization around here.
We voted that all topics should be of general interest.
Better organization is always of general interest.
Dad's so smart. Why can't he understand?
Oh, you poor thing.
Frank, your move. Sure about that? Another game?
No.
Get him out of here!
All the dumb dogs.
Look at him. Well, what do you expect for $5? Come on.
Up on Dad's bed again.
He's always on Dad's bed. He's crazy about Dad.
Through the basement window, across the coal bin, up the back stairs, and Dad's bed.
He was right about the dog. Now he thinks he's right about everything.
Clothes, makeup, and everything.
They're so hoping the boys will go mad over them.
Over them?
What's so ridiculous about that?
Nothing. Only
Only what?
If you have anything to say,
well, I just wouldn't think you'd have that sort of effect on anybody.
And we've known you all of our lives. Of course, some boy who didn't know you so
Oh, thanks for the compliment.
Well, you're very good swimmers, and at tennis.
we don't care for your opinion.
Other boys don't feel like that about us.
Do they?
I've never heard the subject mentioned.
Well, if you want an honest, frank answer,
We don't.
all those silk stockings, what good do they do?
Someday you're going to be surprised. Someday that phone's going to ring, and it'll be...
Somebody for Dad. Hello, Gilbert residence. What? You want to talk with who? You're absolutely sure? You haven't got it mixed up with somebody else?
Who's it for?
You don't mean Ann Gilbert, the one with the freckles? My God, please don't hang up. Are you still there? Thank goodness. Please don't hang up.
What are you saying?
Imagine a boy calling for you. Isn't that wonderful? Hurry, stop.
Ooh, you little snake. Hello, Ann Gilbert. Who? Oh, it's not.
And your boyfriend.
Go ahead,
sent
talk to
an
them. Please
entry.
tell me. I'll take care of them.
ING. First comes love, then comes marriage.
We're only kidding.
I think you need to try.
You bet I need it. No, nothing's the matter. Yes, this is a very good time to call. Where have I been all your life? Well, mostly I've been right here. Get along. Of course I'd be glad to have a soda with you. You mean now? At night?
What about Dad?
What is commission?
You're driving right over?
And
Oh, that'll be fine. Give a little toot on your horn when you get here. Be seeing you. Well, who is it? Joe Scales.
Sally, the cheerleader, and a car too.
He's a little undersized.
So what if he is? You can't expect to set up with the captain of the football team. Maybe, if some people begin taking us out, then other people will. Maybe.
Well, he has his own car. You should hear it backfire.
What'll you tell Dad?
Sooner or later, he's got to realize.
Don't you think it's better if he realizes a little at a time? I don't know when I'll get another chance.
I bet there'll be almost everyone down at the drugstore. Gosh, I'll bet there'll be everyone.
If Dad lets you go.
He might have a problem.
Don't you see? This is the start. Boys notice girls that other boys notice. Pretty soon you begin getting popular, and then you meet someone you really want to meet.
And if you start having dates, Dad can't be so strict with us.
No, that's why it's so important. It's the start of everything, that's all. Mother,
Your father will be down in a minute. He has some things for the family council to take up.
Mother, there was a phone call. A boy called me.
That's nice.
I think he's a very well brought up boy.
He's the cheerleader.
He's asking me to have a soda with him down at the drugstore.
When?
Tonight, he's coming right over.
He has his own car. I don't think tonight's a very good night for it. I think some other time.
But if I break the first date I ever had, there won't be any other night.
Please, Mother. Say something to Dad.
Yeah, some other time. But when? When?
I suppose you have to start sometime, though.
I already told him yes.
Maybe you could bring it up at the end of the council, if you'll be especially cooperative. I hope this boy's the quiet and reassuring type.
Oh, he is. He is. Yeah, he's small, too. Only that high.
That's reassuring.
Now we'll see the skulls get traction.
Bill, put down that umbrella.
going to have a family council. Arrange yourselves. Frank, bring your mother a chair. By Jingo, you're late.
I was trying to explain things to the dog.
We made a new bed for him under the porch. He's sure to stay there.
He better. I now call this meeting to order. If there are any topics of general interest you'd like to discuss before going into the business of the meeting, hearing none.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to go into the topic of roller skates.
Not of general interest.
Oh, I'm interested.
Sit down.
The trouble is, you always get to decide what's a general interest. None of us have a chance. I don't think that's very democratic.
Nonsense. I always favor a discussion of general interest before going into the business of the meeting. I can't ever recall being unreasonable to subject matter.
I might sometimes see a boy who's in my history class. He's the cheerleader.
Not of general interest.
But he is. We're all very interested.
Not me. I'm bored stiff. Now, if Ann had said she might sometimes see a two-headed boy, that would be of general interest.
I'd be very interested in a two-headed boy.
Now, I have a really first-rate topic. I'm going to teach you a new method of multiplication that's bound to make an impression on your math teachers. Remember, little things like this add up to skipping grades in school.
Is that a general interest, Daddy?
That, dear, is a matter of the utmost general interest. But before we get into the mathematics, I have an announcement to make. I have been invited to speak at the World Management Conference in London. And despite the opposition of a few worriers, I intend to go. But by jingo, I'm going to leave this family in smooth running condition, without a big load on your mother.
They're not such a load.
Now, I want you to organize a purchasing committee to buy food, clothes, and equipment. Then, I want you to elect a utilities officer to levy 5-cent fines on wasters of water and electricity. And then a projects committee will see that all work is done on schedule.
Mr. Chairman, I think we're all in favor, and since that's settled, I move we adjourn.
We need more system. I'm installing work charts in the bathrooms, and you're to initial them every day after brushing teeth, washing faces, taking baths, doing homework, and so forth. Then all your mother has to do is glance at the charts.
I think we're all in favor, and I think we ought to adjourn.
It's getting late.
It sure is.
I'd like to see us have the most efficient household in the whole world. That would leave more time for your studies. Remember, the most important thing is your education, your schoolwork.
Couldn't we go into that tomorrow? I think we're all doing fine in our studies.
I want you doing better, skipping grades now and then. I don't want anything to interfere with your studies.
Mr. Chairman, please, I move we adjourn. I second the motion.
Your studies are the most important thing, and anything that detracts from that, what was I saying? Oh, your schoolwork.
Hey! Hey!
Are you responsible for that noise?
I'm responsible.
Great Caesar's ghost, what's written on that car? Jump in, sardine, here's your tin.
Pam said she could have a soda with him.
I've already done my homework.
We have a mathematics project.
Couldn't I get it from her later? I promise
Tell him to stop that.
Joe, park the car and come on in. Oh, Dad, please.
Frank, I won't have you embarrassing Anne.
Well, what would you like me to do? Go sit in the kitchen?
We're going to have a talk before you say anything to that boy. He may be very nice.
He's the cheerleader.
That settles it, no.
Keep an open mind.
I can't see why anyone would think a boy is more important than the mathematics project.
Hey, gang's all here. Let's get your mom.
He heard you.
Some boy, huh?
My brothers and sisters.
The babies are upstairs.
Some family.
You're the first cheerleader we ever saw up close. Gee.
How do you like my tie? It's William Tell time. Pull the boat, and it's the apple. Okay, a William Tell time. You pull the boat, and it's the apple. Say, we're running late. We better shove off.
I think maybe my dad wants to meet you first.
I think maybe he will.
Well, gang's all down there. We really gotta get going.
Do you have time to show us how you lead a cheer?
I think I can show you one cheer. So we gotta get going. Okay? Okay.
No, don't.
What are you worrying about? Come on and follow me. Let's have a hoorah and a tiger. A hoorah and a tiger from Montclair High. Ready? Hoo! Rah! Rah!
Shocking!
Dad, I'd like you to meet Mr. Joe Scales.
How do you do, young man?
Hi, Pop.
Remember now. Dad, Joe's asked me to have soda with sort. He says the gang's all down there.
Well, how about the project?
I'd like to go, Dad.
I'm always reasonable. A soda shouldn't take long.
You mean I can